What's going on, guys? Evolution here, and welcome to my DayZ Standalone Alpha video. So I'm just going to be discussing some of the footage and images that has been released so far. Just kind of overview them and kind of make a video packed with useful information. So these are images from the res gameplay. I mean, you can go watch the 50-minute video, but this is just trying to put it a bit more compact. So to start off, we've got the inventory. So as you can see here on the left hand side, we've got a box that says vicinity. So this means anything kind of in your area will be located in your vicinity box, and you can then drag it from the box, put it onto your player or your inventory, etc. Or you can just go into first person or third and then pick it up yourself. In the middle, you've got your player model. Your player model, and then in the box to the right, you've got your inventory, your backpack, and then your weapon / what's in your hand at the bottom. So you can actually put different stuff in your player's hands now. It's not just weapons. You'll be able to put like disinfectant spray in your hands, spray cans, whatever you want to put in there. And I think this is kind of going to make the game a bit more interactive, because for instance, say you got a spray can, you could put it in your player's hand and then spray a wall or spray a car, or use a disinfectant spray and spray something on the floor to disinfect it. Something along them lines I think will be introduced possibly in the alpha. Right, so next up we've got this screenshot of a player laying on the floor looting under a bed. So first off, you can see that it says mess tin. So that's quite cool that they've introduced, that's a new player item that is probably going to be very useful. Obviously, if you don't know what mess tin is, you use it to cook your food. So I reckon that's going to have a lot of use, which is cool. And also, they've changed the player spawn piles to, well, they used to be loot piles, now they're kind of scattered items, which is much better. Usually you'd run into a residential building, you know which corners of the room there'll be kind of a pile of loot. Now they're very individual, and they're in unique places, like under beds, on top of gas cookers, under gas cookers, in cupboards, on top of shelves, possibly inside cupboards, stuff like that. So that's quite cool. Makes it a lot harder to find resources, and also, say a player runs in, takes what he can see. If he runs out, it doesn't mean that if he didn't have a good check there, he might have missed a few bits that other people can pick up and scavenge. So that's one cool thing I just want to point out there. As you can see in this image, it's pointing out that you're hungry. So Dean did mention that they will be kind of introducing a lot of kind of subtitles that will reflect about your player. So for instance, your feet are sore, your guy feels woozy and sick, you are hungry, you are thirsty, you've got a headache. So Dean said that a lot of messages will be coming up in the corner to indicate how your player's feeling. They will eventually add in audio and like effects on your player. For instance, if his feet hurt, he might stumble a bit, but for now it will just kind of be the dialogue in the corner. So next up, we've got this image of a couple bits of bobs. So on the left side, you can see some batteries. I'm sure the batteries have multiple use, but the most important one is that it goes with the walkie-talkie in this image. And the walkie-talkies are used, basically, if you set the right frequency, you can communicate with other players that are on that frequency up to a kilometre. However, the further away you are, obviously, the quieter and like less distinctive your voice will be, similar to how direct chat is now. And then on the middle, we can see this kind of improvised explosive. Now, this was really quite cool. So if you don't know, there's a new crafting system in DayZ. During the video, basically, Dean found a kitchen timer, a road flare, a spray can, and then some duct tape. And he crafted them all together, and then he made this improvised explosive. So I think that's a really cool feature, so you'll be able to make some useful items, and then even weapons to use against other players via the crafting system. Another example would be that Dean found 2 bits of the Chernarus map, and then he crafted them together to make one big one. So obviously you can find bits of the map around the world of Chernarus. So next up, we got some new weapons. So before I start going into detail, there will be no weapons from Arma 2 / the DayZ mod now in the standalone. They're scrapping all the weapons and creating complete new ones. So here we've got this wooden kind of bolt action looking rifle. As you can see, very low poly, but I think it looks very nice. And we've kind of got this cool, sleek looking pistol. Looks quite cool. And then we've got this kind of double barrel pump shotgun futuristic type weapon. So weapons look really cool, and this is just a few of them that have been released so far. I'm sure there are many more to come. Moving onwards, we have got the medical new health system. I think this is going to play a really big part in DayZ now. Basically, before I start, there are now tons of diseases and illnesses you can catch, and obviously the cure for each illness is going to be pretty rare, kind of like antibiotics. And you're not going to be able to store kind of all the painkillers and kind of cures to cure any infection you can get. Therefore, I think trading is going to come quite popular within DayZ, and it might even build a nice community again. I don't know if Dean's actually going to include a trading system where maybe do a handshake and swap items to make it fair, or if you'll literally kind of have to drop it on the floor and trust the other player will do so. But then if you just say you've got what they need, then they might just kill you and take it anyway. So I'm not sure that's going to work out, but fingers crossed it'll go to plan. So as you can see here on the screen, we've kind of got three different medical packs. So we've got a starter kit in the middle, and if I'm right, Dean did say that there's like going to be saline bags. This won't give you blood, but what it will do is increase your blood pressure, which will make you regenerate blood faster. So that's one of the new features. And here's one of the big parts: is you can no longer just find a blood transfusion bag that will just completely refill your blood. The only way to gather blood now is obviously if you find it, or you can, if you get a syringe, you can take it out your own player or another player, for instance, and then you can store it in a special sealed bag. However, if you do not keep that bag refrigerated, keep the bag refrigerated, then it will like go off and get diseased, and you won't be able to use it. And if it's not the same blood type as you, then you won't be able to use it in the first place. However, it could be useful for someone else, so you could trade blood bags. Again, another thing that would be useful for trading. So I think the way they're going to introduce is maybe they're going to have like fridge packs that you can find in fridges in houses, and then maybe you can put that in your backpack, and that will kind of convert it into a cooling bag. But obviously they'll have durability, so eventually your bag will not be cold anymore. Or maybe you'll be able to find like them cooling picnic boxes things, and you'll be able to assemble them at your camp, kind of like the camping tent works now. So that's how I reckon you'll be able to refrigerate the blood. I think I pretty much covered the health system. Also, we know that there's going to be like new features like stumbling and achiness and passing out, and if you get shot in the lungs or like the hip, it's going to affect your player in different ways. It's not just if you get shot you're going to break your leg. You're going to hurt different limbs, which is going to have different effects on your player. And you'll be notified by this in the corner of your screen by some like text, or there will even be effects and sounds. We're not sure if that'll be in the alpha or not. So next up we got these lovely looking tools. So you're probably wondering why there's so many tools, but I'll tell you why. So in the alpha there's not going to be vehicles released because Dean said he wanted to completely revamp it all and change kind of the vehicle system. But what he did mention was the kind of idea he's got for it is that like you can take car doors off, you can take car batteries out, siphon fuel, stuff like that. And then I can see where kind of the new inventory system is going to come into place, because for instance you could put a spray can in your hand and then spray the actual car door, and then that's going to kind of make you interact more with the game. And that's just one small example. I'm sure there's multiple more. And maybe be even to upgrade your cars and like reinforce the windows, or even put like a tow on the back so you can carry other vehicles. Kind of cool little features like that. So that kind of sums it up for this video. I've tried to make it as short as I can, but a 50-minute video has kind of been summed up into 10 minutes of me talking. If you found any of this information useful, be sure to like it and drop a comment and subscribe for more information. As soon as I can try and get my hands on some new leaked information or any updates from Dean, I will try and do a new video. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you haven't already, check out my DayZ series. I'll see you in the next one, guys.